esportsbets.com, a unique place for true gamers. The only place to bet on esports events. You know your way around a competitive gaming scene and are willing to take a risk? Watch regular broadcasts and earn real money. esportsbets.com, foresight, passion, and calculation.
All right, guys, welcome back. So, heck of a performance from FlipSid and Simple. Bondic also played well, but he was overshadowed, obviously, from that performance from his teammate. But now we move on to Overpass. This is Navi's map choice and a map that FlipSid don't play that often.
Yeah, but at the same time, FlipSid, if they carry that composure they had on Cash, it may not be easy for Navi either.
That's true. I mean, that's the thing we've got to watch now because they're inside Navi's heads for sure. Hopefully they can flush that from their minds instantly. They can reset, let it go, and get on to this map because they never really showed up in that game. In fact, they almost won the pistol. That could have changed things a bit for them. They lost that next gun round, and they never really came on after that. And, well, okay, it's Cobblestone. What am I saying? Okay, I thought it was Overpass. I was going to say.
It is Overpass.
It is Overpass. Oh, okay, production trolling or vice versa?
I think we're just getting trolled here.
All right, that's fine. So it is Overpass. We'll get the correct one up in a second. But no less, I mean, this is, again, Navi need this map and need to get the confidence back their way, and they need to make a much better start. That goes without saying.
That does, definitely. When you're going to destroy it like that, an early start, a good start is essential. Just because a lot of the Counter-Strike is about self-confidence in the end. the skill gap between these players is actually pretty small. So a lot of it comes down to how confident are you feeling when you're playing.
Well, that's the thing. And again, so taking a look at our map, and we'll see who starts out. Again, it was FlipSid that got the start on the T side that time. It was actually the knife round that went the way of Na'Vi. But if that can change around, this map is more so than Cash, obviously a little more CT oriented. We did see some good exploitation of the A site where, in fact, if you smoke it off, you don't even need to get the entry kills. You can actually just go straight in for the plants. Forget who it was at Copenhagen Games that utilized that to their best effect. Maybe it was TSM, but regardless, Vendetta and I had a conversation where it's been exploited now. You don't even need to really take A. You just need to be able, with the new boxes and that new site, you can just get in and get the plants down and play for post-plant positioning without even getting the entry kills. There's our highlighted player for Na'Vi. It's going to be Zeus. We need to see him be strong. He was excellent with the Tech 9, as we saw. Gave them a chance in some of those latter rounds of the last map, but we're going to need more again.
Yeah, and he usually brings a lot on the table. Even if he's an EGA leader, he's one of those guys who also frags quite a bit, so he needs to really pick it up for, along with his teammates, really. Everyone needs to pick it up for Na'Vi, but he's one of those guys who needs to pick it up.
And, of course, how can we not highlight Simple again in back-to-back maps? After the performance he just put on, it's impossible to say, oh, well, look at some other player. No, I mean, he's the highlight. If he stays like that, this night could be over quickly, and FlipSid could get carried all the way through this best-of-5.
And I've seen him really comfortable on this map, too, before. Especially I remember watching him at ESWC with Hellraisers, and he was bringing chaos on Overpass, too, so it doesn't matter which map it is, he's going to feel comfortable.
He's so good at being a lurk player. So good with the AK. And that was the thing. It was the AK that did most of the damage. He actually got slowed down a little bit once they went over to CT. And that was the other thing. Na'Vi started slow. They started quite poorly on their CT side, obviously only picking up those 3 rounds. They picked up 3 rounds on T without a pistol. So there was late life for them, and hopefully that can carry over into this matchup. And there's our odds. Twitch chat. Again, we talked about Twitch chat's always right. We were saying, oh, this is Na'Vi's game. Twitch chat said they were going to win the first game, and they smoked Na'Vi in the first game. Now it's gone even more FlipSid's way. So Twitch chat, you guys might be onto something.
Maybe. For Na'Vi, I think Guardian, he wasn't really showing up this first match, so he is a very, very important player for Na'Vi every single map, and he needs to step it up here.
So we'll get in momentarily, of course. Again, a knife round to start things off, and a slightly more important knife round than what we saw on Cash. Strictly due to the fact that this map is CT-oriented. We'll see if A comes into it. A lot of teams still play for these B takes. B-bomb site is excellent, and I have to say I do like the layout quite a bit on the way it plays. But A can actually go back the way of terrorists right now just by using smokes. Edward, where'd you go, buddy? We were waiting for a knife round to start, and you disappeared. He probably has to go groom his beard.
Probably. There we go. He's back.
Just to pick out the shame from last map. Hashtag shots fired. Cease fire shots. Pre-game. So he's back in, and we'll get the knife round started.
I think an interesting factor and thing to watch here is how is the CTs on both teams approaching A site. Do they play it aggressively, or do they fall back all the way back to the site itself? With the recent changes once again on this map, and I think A side has become much more viable for terrorists than before. We see a lot of attacks coming towards B side actually with the earlier versions of Overpass, just because it just gave you more open space and just a lot more, just a lot more space to work with basically. And now that with these changes, it's made it easier for the T's to attack on the A side as well.
See if that comes into it, but again, knife round this time. Decoy goes out. That'll start it off. But knives are flying each way, and already Na'Vi have the advantage in it yet again, so they might get their start, although FlipSid wants to cancel that out and bring it back. We get down to a 2-on-2. Markelov just barely survives, and Bondic actually picks up the double, so it's FlipSid to win this knife round. They'll get CT side, and not only they already have map 1 to their name, they've got the easy start. Well, hopefully it pays off, but again, it was T side that did all the work for them, and that's usually their case. So the emphasis will be on how many CT rounds they give up, much like NIP when we see them play. It's almost like they have to play a flawless defense if they start on this side.
Yeah, Na'Vi here, T side again, I think similar to FlipSid, they need the strongest start on T. Dictate the pace of the play, and especially after the trashing that FlipSid took on Na'Vi the first map. That's going to be a key point here with Na'Vi too, to get a strong start and get their ball rolling early on. Still waiting for a start here. Edward asking for go, but still not starting.
So someone's not readied up. Hopefully they'll do so. And we'll get things rolling. Because remember, the winner of this series moves on to Fnatic tomorrow evening. And the loser bows out of the first season from PGL despite their best efforts. And again, Overpass came into this. There was no surprise there. Nuke was the predictable ban. Dust 2 went out in this one's place. We thought this might have actually got banned out, but FlipSid was less likely to play on Dust 2, or less comfortable at least on it. It's Cobblestone still in as well. We'll get to that a little later on, as well as potentially get to that a little later on. As well as Mirage and Inferno.
Yeah, with this map pool, I think both teams are like to play all these maps. So I don't think there's a huge advantage for either of the sides, except for I feel like Na'Vi probably here on Overpass is the favorite side. But on the other 4 maps, it's pretty even playing field.
So here we go, underway for map 2. FlipSid want to continue on with the absolutely masterful performance they displayed on Cash. And of course, Na'Vi want anything except that to happen. They would like it to go their way in a similar fashion. So we'll see if that pays off or not. Right now, standard defense, a little bit aggressive from Bondic and Blade inside the front of the bathrooms on the mid position just to get information, but they're going to fall. They're going to play it on the backside rotation toward B because Simple's already dropped down. And that means B is slightly exposed. Guardian is up toward that bathroom connector. Flamey's at the top of the stairwell toward the lower halls, and that's where the bomb's dropped and waiting for them to at least decide how they want to approach the round as Edward waits on the backside of the party. Let's get this party started, right?
Yeah, they're just playing really slow, just trying to gain some map control here. Na'Vi is and taking over the toilet and long, and seems as though the attack is going to be approaching towards the A site momentarily.
But that's the thing, because unfortunately, that's where most of the players are right now. For FlipSid, Bondic is down below in the window. No, I take that back. He is actually on Optimus Prime. So much like Nuke, the overlay can be confusing. He's inside the site. So they've got a welcoming party. It's Markelov that's down below. And we'll be watching on B. He'll be the one that has to rotate quickly. He's already smoked off, so we won't have that read just yet. But somehow they figured this out. Bondic takes down Guardian, but they're already falling off. And it's because of Seized. He's gone through B and realized it's wide open. That one smoke on window lets him walk in. He has the information, and the bomb will come back. Great play by Na'Vi, not overcommitting onto the A site and getting this information to come back. And Bondic and Blade are already there. Fast rotations onto B because of gravity, and Bondic's already taken off Zeus's head. He's inside the site. He's responding, though, with the Glock because he's up close underneath the window. But they'll cancel him out. They know exactly where he is, and they come forming and marching in on his position. He drops down. Flamey gets one back the other way. That's Blade to go, and World Edit brings it right back. So it's all on Edward to hold this plant. They're defusing. They're on it. World Edit comes off. He has to because he's on the close angle, and Markelov's not there to support. He had the kit, and Edward does it. 1-on-2. He'll bring it back. This time it's Na'Vi to clutch the opening pistol. And this is big. They want to use this all the way through.
Definitely. Important pistol for Na'Vi, and just a nice patient play from them. It was looking like they were going to be going towards A, but Seized with the lurking towards B, and he realized the bomb side is totally empty, and Na'Vi took the opportunity, went back and got the bomb in B, and Edward just clutched it. Tech9 Supreme.
And that's similar to how we saw Bondic do it with the Tech9 when we were on Cash. So again, bomb dropped all the way back toward T-spawn this time. They'll search for some sort of read against how FlipSid want to play this. They aren't putting anyone out toward long, and there's actually 3 players from Na'Vi lurking up in that position, trying to move forward slowly but surely. It's Flamey, Zeus, and Guardian that are there. Yeah. Edward's on the backside of the bathrooms, just waiting up toward the top of the party.
Again, Na'Vi just trying to gain as much map control before committing to either of the sides before anything happens, and they have the knowledge now that toilets is going to be empty, but they don't see the stack right in front of A site.
And Edwards already opened it up. That's an SMG kill. So that gives him some extra money. Guardian's also going to find World Edit. AK working out, and Edward, one more. So already $1,200 earned from him. Seized comes around. He's the one with the bomb, slowly and getting to the site. A little bit late getting there, but it doesn't matter. All the kills are going the way of Edward. He's now got 1,800 in the bank, and that pays off the gun and a little more. As Simple has to fall out of this. He's got the Deagle. He wants to do some damage and try and get some exits, so he'll sit tight on the windowsill. How much for the dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail, and he was definitely wagging it last map. We'll see if he can get fired up soon, because so far they haven't been able to get into this. No weaponry to work with just yet. It's been all Edward, in fact. He's on 5. Simple does get one on the exit, but it's Edward again to close him. So 4 kills with the SMG. And he's leading the charge. Got 6 in the game already.
Yep, a rather clean anti-eco from Na'Vi. And rather important at that too, since that is going to be money in the bank for the further rounds once FlipSid gets on the weaponry. Right now, though, it seems like FlipSid has bought some smoke, so 4 smokes in fact, so no, actually 3. So they're going to be trying to waste as much time as possible for Na'Vi before they commit to an attack.
To delay that push from the long sewage pipe, but Edward, pardon me, Flamey this time actually.
It's not
got
helping
the first
them
kill.
much.
Edward was coming around the corner, but it's Flamey to get it. Seized actually gets Markelov. And that smoke had a huge gap, so Seized will just walk through it. So again, he'll scout things out on the B side. He may make this call that it's open, but they need to be careful because Simple actually pushed through construction and got around behind them. And there it is. He's going to spot up Seized. Doesn't matter. Goes down. The firepower of the Galil overpowers the pistol, and that puts us on 3s for Na'Vi, but guns coming out now for the CTs, and in fact, World Edit already straight to the op.
Yeah, not surprising whatsoever, actually. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of position he plays here. Is he going to go for the early picks with the IWP? It seems like he's going to be pushing the toilet area towards middle and try to make an impact around that area.
So, again, they go aggressive on the defense. They go on the search. World Edit does have this op, like we mentioned, but he's pushed out into the bathrooms. He wants to catch them on the cross beyond the party out toward long, as Zeus hangs out in the lower tunnels right now. Edward jumped over. I think he spotted World Edit there.
He did. So that World Edit saw it too, so he's going to be rotating back and changing his position.
So that makes it all passive.
Yeah, they're playing pretty far back, actually. So not a lot of, just the early aggression, and then when they get spotted out, they're going to be falling back and just playing the site itself, allowing them for a pretty fast rotation for B2.
And Navi's countering it, because usually that's what you see, is a very aggressive A-push. TSM love to use it, but Navi's putting players there early, not letting them get all of that map control for free. Just by having an early pick presence out toward long A, it really changes everything.
Yeah, so far Navi not really doing much at all, with only 40 seconds left on the clock, so they're really wasting the clock until the very last seconds before making any sort of decisions here, once again. So it could be costly of them too, but if they make it spot on, then it's going to work out fantastically, but there's always going to be that risk when they're spending as much time as they are.
They're coming in B now. Seized is already inside again. He's down low, and Guardian's already found World Edit. Markelov over the top now. There's your M4. Flamey drops, and Bondic will contribute one as well. And now it's Simple joining into the fragging party. And Markelov brings down Edward. That leaves only Seized, and it's all Markelov. Goodbye, Na'Vi, and FlipSid have the first round already. Of course, CT side, but no less, it's 3-1.
Yeah, Na'Vi really had no read whatsoever on FlipSid's defense there, except for the early spot of AWP in banana area, we call it, and that was it. Then they committed for B side late on the round. Not a lot of time left for any sort of rotations or making a different decision there. So, bit of a, I think Na'Vi needs to speed things up a bit here.
Again, they go a little more passive on FlipSid's defense. They stay all the way back toward A, so they're just going to play for the sites. They won't be able to push up and read the fact that there are 2 very hungry players on Na'Vi working up in the outside position right now. It's Flamey and Guardian that are out there. Edward's going to fall back inside toward the bathroom connector. And look at this boost. We do have it on the backside. In fact, we have 2 boosts, and Zeus knows it. He may not have hit the top player, but he aims right down to where Markelov had to have been standing, where he was boosting his teammate up, and tears his head off. That's just great play. That's a good read, and Guardian's already going to cancel out the boost that was behind the truck. That's the one I was actually talking to or referring to in the first place. And by throwing out that smoke and a little bit of fire, he'll force them off it. So World Edit has to go to the stairwell, and he's got to play for the front of bathroom. And Guardian's going to catch out Bondic. He had no idea he was up close, came through the smoke, and gets his head blown off by the AK. And Guardian's found more. Seized also finds Simple. And now Na'Vi looks to take back a gun round before their economy breaks. But Blade wants back into this. It's all him, 1-on-4, as the bomb has gone down on the B site.
A totally different round for Na'Vi there. They took control of short area towards B, and that gave him a lot of read on what the CTs were doing. And getting that pick on Markelov early created an opening, and then Guardian pushing long. It's just a lot better round from Na'Vi altogether. They took control of the map much more earlier on. That gave him a lot of options, and here we see Zeus actually getting that pick, and that kill was important just for the fact that that's going to cause a bit of a rotation and doubt in the CT's mind when there's a kill coming on the other side of the map, and then you saw Guardian get that pick on A as well, and then it was all Na'Vi after that.
And we said it has to be a perfect CT half from FlipSid because they are such a two-sided team. We'll see World Edit push up toward the front of mid this time. He's going to get inside the stairwell. In fact, he's already down there. Zeus is going to spot him, though, so the AK gets the kill. Gives them the one-man advantage. Make it 2 now as Edward uses that SMG. He's been going to it. He had a great start. He was up to 6 kills early. Now he's 9-1. Door does get blown out. That gives Zeus a little more of a read, a little more of a shot fire angle, and he's going to use it. Takes down Markelov. And Seized finds Simple, so it's just Bondic remaining.
Just the money's rough for FlipSid at this point.
Rough indeed, but they will force out M4s. Blade, Simple, already grabbing them. They won't get much more. World Edit going to go for no head armor to get his, and only 2 nades, and a FAMAS comes out for Bondic and Markelov. That's all they can get, because look, 2 flashes and just the chest armor, and Bondic's still broke. So Na'Vi this time are the ones that are taking full advantage of the T side. They are getting the start that they want, and this is perfect. 5-1 already on Overpass.
Yeah, FlipSid opting to go for an early force buy with the FAMASs and M4s. No AWP in play at this point, since their money is not looking good. And it could really be costly if they don't pick it up here in the long run.
And Guardian, Flamey, and Edward are already pushed up toward long, boosting over the flower pot to try and get the reverse shot down into the A site, but it's actually World Edit playing up close on the boxes. Bondic's pushed into the corner, as we can see, beside the bathrooms. He may catch one player off. That would be Seized, as we now see on the opposing side when he walks by, but we'll see if he checks the angle or not. Guardian hears him jumping, and that's World Edit to be spotted, but he gets the kill. He actually gets the better of it. Zeus trades it immediately as they march in, and Seized spots Bondic. Great entry from him, checking all the corners, and now they've got a chance to control this site. All they have to do is plant it on the inside of these boxes, but Zeus wants more. He's actually going to go all the way to the truck. The bomb zone is used, as we can see, right on the edge of that orange line to the right side of Edwards, so they can plant and play post outside in the bathrooms. That time they don't. They get the kills regardless, and it's all down to Markelov.
Yeah, the timings really worked for Na'Vi there. World Edit jumping the wrong spot at the wrong time, and he got picked apart. He did get 1 kill, but he could have got plenty more if he been watching that spot earlier. The same thing happened for Bondic, close to toilets, and that was the A defense. Mowed down in just a matter of a couple of seconds, really. And I think FlipSid should have played it much more aggressively, considering the fact that they were playing with lots worse weaponry than their counterparts. And but they decided to do a very passive setup, and it really cost them here. The timing just didn't work out for them, and they're going to be here on a save. 1-6 down, and just 1 FAMAS with Markelov. And Na'Vi really did push that reset button after Cash, and they're looking like a completely new team on Overpass.
Yeah, and this is what we normally are used to seeing from them against FlipSid. Full map control, early picks, all of the sorts that go against things and never get FlipSid into games against Na'Vi, but last map was certainly an exception. We'll see if Simple can get things rolling. He's only got the 5-7, and he already hears them coming, so he'll fall back passively inside the site, leave Markelov to play it up close with that FAMAS, and Blade gets caught rotating. He's down the stairs, and Edward was waiting on the backside, so easy pick up there. As Flamey also spots off Markelov. A little bit of damage through the edge of the wall. That puts him on 35.
Yeah, Na'Vi taking, once again, a lot of time just trying to get as much knowledge as possible before committing to either of the sites. And so far, it's been working out pretty nicely for them. They've already got the pick off on Blade. So a lot of map control on their way. And seems like FlipSid is actually stacking that B site while Na'Vi is rotating to go towards A.
Bondik's still up there toward the stairwell. He'll shift and go the long way to the back stairs. Let World Edit get up close and into this position sooner. So they'll have two there, but again, it's backside of the site. All they have to do is just plant it on the front side of the boxes. I'm not sure they're used to that, though, because Zeus keeps going off toward the backside of the truck and planting on the flatbed. They can plant it so much quicker. Guardian gets one, and Edwards already found two just before that. This is a good hold from Na'Vi in the post plant, and now it's 7-1. We're in an exact same situation we had from FlipSid on Cash. This time goes to Na'Vi, and of course this is their map, so they're playing it to perfection right now.
And now we have FlipSid bringing out the op again. Just the money situation allows that, and World Edit, he needs to be, I think, double op setup as well. Simple also on the op, so they really need to be dominating here right now. They need to pick it up and show who's the boss on Overpass. So far, it's all been all Na'Vi.
And it's Edward that's up close to the bathroom. World Edit, though, getting twice as aggressive with his up. Finds one, and what a reaction shot on Edward. He was dead to rights there, but somehow still pulls off the beautiful shot. Flamey's had enough, finally puts him down, and advantage right now goes to FlipSid based on that performance from World Edit. Sees now up close, does hear one trying to get up and get some information over top of the planks. Just jumping to spot them, no one to boost him, so he can't fire away predictably. And Zeus, a little bit trigger happy, takes 11 health off Flamey. Here's your backside boost today. We saw them try and utilize this before. It was countered out with a Molotov. This time it's also going to be countered out by the fact that Simple doesn't care. He wants to move forward. He'll get Flamey. So double ops, 3 kills from them. Seas does collect Markelov, but Simple's going to get more. It's Seas to go down. And if he can get rolling like he did in the last map, things could quickly shift back the way of FlipSid Tactics, as Zeus is all that's left, and they are look posed to get their second round.
Definitely. And it was an interesting approach from FlipSid too. They had two ops pushing the same spot of the map as well. They were both up in middle. But it worked out great. World Edit with those 2 big kills, and then Simple with the following 2. Really hard situation for Zeus at this point.
Bondik's waiting. Zeus does cross over. He does have the bomb, but he's not going to go for the plane. He actually just wants to catch them off. And Blade almost gets caught off, but he hears him coming. Luckily, just in the nick of time, turns back, gets the kill, and F3 now have 2.
Yep. They won't be able to get the double ops now, I believe. So let's see which one of the 2 is gonna be using that op. I think it's gonna be Simple from the look of, by the look of things.
I believe so. Yeah, he picks it up. It was on the ground. They threw it over to him. And it's Guardian that has one on the opposing side. And they're heading toward B right now, or at least with the early presence they are. Seized Flamey, take a left turn through the first pipe. They'll head in toward construction, and Guardian finds the kill. Simple down. Yep. So that's your off battle 1. And an opening for Na'Vi. First blood, and maybe more, because this forces the defense to have to compensate. Blade heads down toward Catwalk. Markelov's backside Toxic, and they're going to boost it. They're going to spot Toxic. Question is, does he sit in an open position? Seized can't hit the shot. So close, he falls back. Does he get a second chance? He does, and it's Markelov that he collects. It's actually not the first player he shot at, who's Blade. And Blade took a little bit of damage from it, so it's a double win in that situation in that regard. Great boost utilizing from Na'Vi, and they've got a 2-man advantage to play off of. They've still got World Edit rotating over early. Seized finds him through the smoke, so now it's 1 man on either side. Blade's holding strong, does spam away and get 2, but Seized counters him. And Bondik's the only one left. He's going to fall back. He's going to try and save because FlipSid, like you say, reset that money bonus. They had nothing much to work with. They couldn't afford that double op. Bondik does at least get the AK kill into Edward. But the bomb's going down. It hasn't gone down yet, which means he can get there close. He knows one's got to be there, but look how manly he is. Already Dolphin dives out of the window, but Seized gets the shot, waiting on the backside of the jungle. And Na'Vi have 8.
Na'Vi went for that short control early on once again, and it's paying dividends for them. Guarding that pick on Simple on B right after Pat, and then Markelov from that cheeky post, and yeah, that was pretty much it. They just capitalized on that situation. Just a nice playing by them. And the flip side here, the problem right now for them is that they're not able to string those rounds together, and when it comes to money, that's going to be horrible for you.
In this round, they get up close to the B sewage pipe quite early. They're already in. Seized already finding 2 great entries from him. Gives them another opening, and FlipSid, this time they're the ones with no answer, and both maps, it's been all T performances. As World Edit at least cancels out Zeus with the P250 shot as he opens up the doorway, but they're just going to quickly chase and track him down. Although I don't think Edward realizes he's gone over to the left, and in fact, Simple's actually going to come in behind, so USB shot for him. They're doing good damage. He wants that AK. He's not going to get it. Seized is waiting and already gets the shots back. So Guardian closes out the round. It's Bondic to drop, and we're in a very, very similar situation to how we were first map. And we talked about the mentality, hit the reset button for Na'Vi. They've done that and more, because now it's FlipSid who's going to be feeling demoralized.
Yeah, and you can see Cease has really picked up his game along with Outward. It's not actually even being Guardian who's been carrying Na'Vi here that we usually see. But it's if these two guys pick it up and then Guardian also, it's gonna be a long night for FlipSid here. But yeah, at least FlipSid now gets the op again in play, and let's see if Simple can be more of an effect here, opposed to what happened last round where he got picked up right away.
And they know they're getting these kills on B, so they're going to keep going there. Flamey this time's the one with the entry, and Seized adds another one to his total. Blade goes down. He gets overwhelmed. They came in and penetrated from both sides.
The best bet at this point would be to just start saving your weapons already. Impossible to retake 3 on 5 on the B bomb site. They're just going for the cheeky kills before going back, I believe.
And Simple gets the first one. That's with the op. Edwards chasing, though. He is pushing out to try and at least get one more gun away from these CTs, as Bondic is the man he's lurking towards. Simple does get dropped. That's Guardian that gets that kill. And Bondic knows Edwards there. Bondic's actually trying to come back around and get him on the way out because he's low HP, and he does so. Drops him with that FAMAS. He wants to run forward. He wants that AK that he got out of his hands, and he actually gets seized because that was his best chance. In fact, seized his best chance to get back into him and catch him off guard, but they'll secure the AK. So a bit of a consolation prize, but now it's 10 rounds to Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's the big problem here for FlipSid. So they're going to be forcing it up here. 2 to 10 down. Still got the op. They need more of an effect from the opper, whichever it will be. Or Simple. One of these two guys really need to step it up and put up a wall somewhere on the map with the op. The early picks, they're gonna be the important thing here. Simple actually trying to go for them here, playing really aggressively middle, but does not connect with a shot and is forced to fall back a bit. And again, the first 3 picks go to Na'Vi.
And it's Zeus with the double this time, but again, Seized is there. He's looking relentless on his entries, and it's World Edit this time. Up close on the sandbags, can't do anything to prevent him from coming inside the site. So he'll walk around, and it's all left to Simple, and he's dropped. And this time, Simple's silent. He's got 7. He does lead the way for his team, but you compare that to Seized, who's on 17, 10 more. Never mind this being a CT-sided map. Look at the score, 11 already Na'Vi. Very similar to how FlipSid played on Cash.
Yeah, it seems like we're watching the same thing we were the previous map. Just the roles have changed here. Na'Vi are just mowing it down, and FlipSid really does not seem to have any kind of an answer at this point. They're just getting picked apart left and right. Just as I say that, though, World Edit starts on a pick with Guardian.
Simple does open up this round, and now it's Bondic. Finally, they're getting some kills go their way early on. That's based on a little bit of aggressive defense. We do catch Bondic falling back now toward A site because his job is done. World Edit's at the bottom of the stairs. Zeus gets flashed. That's through the window, and there it is. World Edit gets him with the op. He's got to fall up, though. Flamey all the way out toward long. Bombs way back toward T-spawn, so there's really no chance here for Flamey because they're already behind him and preventing him to go back and get it.
There you go.
Bondic's going to get it.
Yeah. This is the type of play the FlipSid should have been doing the whole half, really. Contest Na'Vi early before they get the map control, and yeah. Now they did in connector, contest the short, just contest them everywhere, and try to get that early kill. That's going to be very key, because Na'Vi is going to try to look for map control, and then after they have the knowledge of what you're doing on your defense, they're going to be executing on one of the sites. So early aggression is going to be a key here.
And we've got an op round. 4 ops out, double each side. And already one of them used to good effect. It's Simple onto Flame. He catches him trying to run over from the playground out toward long, and that's the aggressive you were talking about. That's exactly what FlipSid should have been doing. World Edit does get caught, so one op has finally dropped away. And found a way 6 feet under in the hands of World Under. World Edit, World Under, there you go. He's in the underworld now.
Yeah.
The Seized bounces a smoke. That still gives him an angle to try and get the entry out toward Toxic, but covers off his backside from Cat when he walks in. But they're not going that way. They're actually going to come back up toward the bathrooms. Bondic's posted in the corner. They've got to check this, or he's going to have at least one when he goes by.
Yep, a lot of pressure on him, too.
And Guardian's the one that's looking for that first shot. He spams. Bondic knows he's got to be close. That gives away that they're there, and Bondik's going to lurk out. He's easily going to get them lined up, or does he? No, Zeus cancels it out, but at least Bondik got the advantage kill for FlipSid just before that. So Guardians drop down, and there's only 2 ops left. One for Simple, and Edward, who has Navi's second one, and he's slowly pushing up toward long. We'll see if he can get this cross shot back toward the stairwell. In fact, it's not the stairwell. It's on the truck where Simple is playing. As Blade makes his way over to the backside of the site, and Simple's going to get Edward. There's your op working, and he makes it a double. They close out the half. One better than Navi did in the first map, but it's still 11 rounds to Navi T side, and that makes it a pretty awkward situation for FlipSid.
Definitely does. It was like the same thing we saw in Cash, but this time Navi doing the damage. And like we pointed out, FlipSid really needed to have that early aggression earlier on that half, but it was just too little too late for that at that point anymore.
Too late, and that might be a similar situation. So Navi did wake up. Navi did come back into it, and
definitely
Simple hasn't come alive just yet.
Nope.
But again, it was T-side he did last time. We'll see where the pistol goes. It also went, I believe it went, yeah, it went for FlipSid when they switched over to CT, but then it was Navi that made a late comeback. We'll see if that can happen for FlipSid again, but right now it's Navi's game to lose. They've got full control of this, and we did say this is their map, and they are slightly more composed CT than FlipSid normally is, so they should be able to close this out, statistically speaking, but we've seen
crazier things.
We've already seen some pretty crazy things tonight, so it's unpredictable at this point.
Yep.
Stay with us to find out. It's a thriller. Don't go anywhere. That was cheesy.
Quite cheesy, yeah.
Americanized. That's okay.
Facepalm.
Get those out. Get those out. Failfish. So we'll wait. I think we're just waiting on, who is it? Actually, everyone's still in the server, so there should be no delays. They should get back underway any second. And, of course, this will even up the series, best of 5, and we don't need to mention it again, but Fnatic's waiting for the winner.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
That's true. This could even up the series.
This could.
That's the hard thing.
You never know what kind of a rabbit we're going to be seeing FlipSid get out of their hat.
There hasn't been anything mentioned. Okay, now there we go. Now we've switched it over. So they have readied up, and I'm not sure who it was we were waiting on, and Seized and Flamey seem to be in good spirits. Have fun, good luck, and they should be. They've got a comfortable lead right now.
They definitely do, and they can seal the deal here on the pistol. And FlipSid, well, safe to say, pistol round is going to be the thing. One thing that may give him a bit of a lifeline here, but is that even going to be enough? I'm a bit doubtful, but that's the first thing. First things first, get the pistol and start to grind from there.
And already Edward and Guardian pushed out toward long. Edward gets the first kill. No, pardon me, it's actually Guardian who gets it. So he had the further angle, but the Glock still does, or the P2000 rather, still does the damage. Because that's the gun he's holding. The rest are on the USPs. So early advantage Navi. And that's what FlipSid wasn't doing. They weren't utilizing that map control to funnel out the offense. Already Navi looked to be a little more composed in doing so. Blade's going to go back to grab the bomb. It's out toward T-spawn, and that means they're going to commit to this B, and Edward knows it. He's already pushed all the way down long, so Guardian and Seized are poised for a quick rotation based on the call, and as soon as they're spotted at B, they'll go. Bondik spotted now, and they're on the march, so they're going to be walking into a very heavy defense on this site. Smokes go off. That covers off Cat. Zeus and Seized on the backside. They could boost over it if they wanted to, but they won't. They'll spam through. Bondik's caught through the smoke. Nice headshot to open it up, and here comes Edward on the flank. They've heard him coming, though, so does he get the damage? Yes, he gets Blade, and that's your bomb down. Flamey also finding Markelov, and it's all left to World Edit. Great round from Navi, and they're up to 12. They get the start, they get the momentum, and we might now look a lot more likely to close up quickly. Yeah,
the early pick there on long, and then the push on long with all the information of the P push coming up was pretty much what all that it needed, and Navi with a clean sweep there in their CT pistol round and are poised to be taking this map here as they're 12-4 up. And we're in the second round. FlipSid seems to have a 4 spot on this this round here, and see what they can come up with.
And they're trying to get these picks toward long. Edward again behind the rock. Out on the left side. Blade, Bondik working up in front of the party. In fact, Blade's going to drop off the bomb at the party. Leaves a gift behind and wants to go out and try and push onto these long players. Gets the first on Edward. There's your P250. So Eco starting off well. Wants more. Smoke's going to cover himself off, and that allows Guardian to fall back. So he utilizes that in a defensive tactic, and they'll play passively on this A site. Markelov, Simple, slowly rotating over to join the rest of their team. But Seized and Zeus are getting aggressive on the front side of the bathrooms. This will allow them to potentially get in behind Navi yet again, and FlipSid yet again. Seized gets the kill. That's Blade down. That brings the round to an even situation. It's still Navi with the HP disadvantage, though, because Seized is on 46, and Zeus goes down to 12 against Bondik, and Simple catches off. on the backside, and that gives them back a 3-on-3. They've also secured 2 guns, 1 from us, 1 M4, so the eco situation's gone. It's actually guns now to come in. And on the A site, with the defense playing passively, there's a chance to get a front-sided plant. C's not going to allow it to happen. World Edit drops. Simple does go back into him, and now they can push it forward. Guardian has to stand strong. Flamey wants to go for the flank, or at least a late rotation, and it's all on to Guardian. He gets one, traded off immediately, and it's a one-on-one situation. FlipSid in the second round, already trying to claw back into it. He's going to hold this plant on the backside of the truck. And Flamey just now getting in position, but he can't cross. Markelov can't get out. Flamey's got him held, and Flamey knows exactly where he is. Spams away. Easy shot. Gets this defuse. And they hold on. Far too close for comfort, it has to be said, in the second round. But they'll get it no less.
Yeah, it seemed like FlipSid had a read on Navi's defense on long. Probably that's something what Navi likes to do, with Guardian being pushed up at that tree. And yeah, FlipSid really utilized that in their advantage. Almost even got 2 picks there on long, but still, back and forth. Trade kill after trade kill. Down to a 2-2, and Flamey with the clutch.
And that's actually very similar to how FlipSid went after they won the pistol in the second half on Cash. So things are actually repeating. They were into a one-on-one in that one as well. Simple's going to get caught. That's bomb down. Edward's already got it. Edward will hold that. And Guardian's going to come out the backside of the doorway, find Blade trying to resume duties and come back around behind. Flamey also finds Markelov, and Guardian just completely sprays them down. It's Bondic and World Edit. So this time it's flawless, and now they'll build a bit of bank. But with that bomb plant in the first round, we're going to see guns come out already. And in fact, World Edit goes straight for a naked op. He's got no armor. This is a glass cannon for him.
Definitely. And that's going to be very important here for FlipSid to have really good set plays here on Overpass. As we all know, Blade is one of those guys who spends a lot of time on creating good strategies, so those really need to shine at this point as they're 4-14 down on Overpass.
We'll see if World Edit can make this pay off, because it is a hefty investment, but they've got to do that. They've only got 2 rounds left to lose, and it's all but over. Blade spams away. That's Guardian caught. He's inside the stairwell, dropping down already. And Edward stays again with this SMG. We'll see if he can use it to good effect, as Markelov now finds him, so he can't. He won't get anything with it. Seized on the backside of the bathrooms. Noseblade's up close and very low on HP. He's on 24, but he's in an awkward position. And there's World Edit. There's your naked op. It's Zeus to drop. And now it's all left to just Seized and Flamey. And FlipSid find an answer on an early buy, and a very aggressive early buy at that. Markelov finds his second in the round. Flamey drops down at sandbags, and already they've spotted up exactly where Seized is playing, and Bondic makes no mistake on the shot.
Very similar plays from FlipSid there. Just going for the map control, getting the picks, and they got 5 picks in total without dropping a single player. Just a flawless play there, and it all started with Guardian getting picked off early. I think he was caught up being alone there, pushed up, and yeah, FlipSid really working it out in that first weapon round.
So it pays off. World Edit grabs armor this time to complement his weaponry. He's also got nades to work with, including one that's under a grenade he picked up in the last round. Simple spams away through the flanks. No one on the other side of it to collect the damage.
Yep, similar to Navi. FlipSid goes for that short control, and that's going to give you a lot of map knowledge when you have that. And it's going to give you a lot of options to work with your strategies as well. So very similar plays from both sides so far.
Zeus jumps up, does spot up 2 of them, so he goes for the spam spot. But at the very least, he knows they're over toward construction. Seized comes out of A early as a result, but the 2 aggressive players, Guardian and Edward, they've got a long way to go to get over and join in on this hold. Luckily, they're being given a little bit of time from FlipSid because they haven't gone for the entry just yet. Markelov does catch Edward on the backside, so there will be no flank rotation. Great lurk from Markelov to hold that.
Yep. And a lot of pressure is going to be on Zeus in just a moment here, as he's the lone player on B, and the bomb is just lurking into B.
That's the curious thing. This 1 kill from Markelov causes an over-rotation from Navi. They're already leaving the site. Zeus will at least get the trade, but now they've got to come back. They were already there in the first place. Seized is the first one to arrive, and he gets the bomb planter. That's huge. Blade had no idea he was up close. This will delay everything from FlipSid, and all they have to do is play positions to hold that off. World Edit's going to make it hard. Flamey drops down, but Guardian gets back into Markelov, so we still stay 2-on-2, and Bondic comes over. He actually does get seized. He actually drops down. They had no idea he was going to be coming up that aggressively, and Guardian's got to do this the hard way, coming in close. Does get the bomb planter yet again, and they cannot put the hot potato in position. There will be no luck going the way of FlipSid. And what's going to happen? A little bit of tension. We slow it down for dramatic effect, and time runs out. Time runs out. That's the crucial thing. And Guardian gets rolled at it post round, so no money for him as well as the loss. And we are on match point in a rather interesting round.
That was a very interesting round. It was a huge mistake from FlipSid, not covering that bomb planter whatsoever. Gave Seas the free kill on the planter, and then Guardian just being Guardian and clutching a situation where the odds were not exactly in his favor, but still clutching it and putting Na'Vi on a match point here on Overpass.
Well, match point indeed. And already Guardian starting it off well for Na'Vi. They look poised to take this. In fact, if they did it right now, they would do it in one better than FlipSid did it against them. That was 16-6. This could be 16-5, although World Edit does at least find seized. Brings it back to only a one-man advantage on the CT side. He's pushed through A. He's deep in A right now.
Yeah. There's no one there either.
But Simple's on the backside of Long right now. Edward and Zeus are already flanking around. The good news is they haven't checked Long, so Blade will have a chance to hold him out, but Simple needs to read this. He needs to be sure of himself to get back inside the site because World Edit and Blade are getting swarmed, and World Edit's already down. Zeus finds Blade, or does he? No, Blade actually gets the better of the kills right now with this AK, and in fact, he's going to do more. He catches Flamey on the stairwell. It's back to a 2-on-2. Blade just needs to hold out the inside of the site. Simple's drop, though. That's your bomb down. Blade brings it back. He's got to go get this bomb, and he's not going to do it. Guardian's in position, just arrives with the op. And it's actually in a plus-minus differential round-wise. Na'Vi, who's up by 1 after 2 maps, 16-5 this time on an Overpass, and this was a little more expected. I expected this to be something like 16-8. They actually get 16-5, and again, it's a T-side start that makes all the difference.
Yeah, when you get 12 rounds on T-side on Overpass, yeah, you're poised to take that at 16-6 or so. And overall, they picked themselves up after that horrible first map, and they all played just so well. And I think Guardian, who is seemingly the MVP on this map, also really showed what the Na'Vi needs of him too. Just picking up kills left and right and getting a lot of entries on both sides. And yeah, he was instrumental here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And we talked about how actually they were playing him alone out toward A long. They actually changed it up. They were the ones that used the aggressive defense to their advantage. We didn't see FlipSid take advantage of that, and it really caused a lot of problems because all Na'Vi did was counter the push, wait for picks, and then they'd rush a site late. And it worked wonders for them, whereas as soon as they went to the defense, they did the opposite. They got aggressive out long, and FlipSid had nowhere to go.
That's it. Overpass CT, you need to play aggressively. You need to have map control, and on the contrary, on T side, you need to also have map control. So a lot of the early battles are actually going to dictate on who's on the advantages situation there. And Na'Vi just came out on top on both occasions.
So we'll take a short break and be back for map number 3. It's tied 1-1. Ukrainian Pride on the line and a spot in tomorrow's final and the last spot for Bucharest. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. On Edward to hold this plant. They're defusing. They're on it. World Edit comes off. He has to because he's on the close angle and Markelov's not there to support. He had the kit and Edward does it. Already inside again. He's down low and Guardian's already found World Edit. Markelov over the top now. There's your M4. Flamey drops and Bondic will contribute one as well. And now it's Simple joining into the fragging party. And Markelov brings down Edward. That leaves only seized, and it's all Markelov. Play for the front of bathroom. And Guardian's going to catch out Bondic. He had no idea he was up close, came through the smoke, and gets his head blown off by the AK. And Guardian's found more. Seized also finds Simple. And now Na'Vi looks to take back a gun round before their economy breaks. But Blade, all they have to do is just plant it on the front side of the boxes. I'm not sure they're used to that, though, because Zeus keeps going off toward the back side of the truck and planting on the flatbed. They can plant it so much quicker. Guardian gets one, and Edwards already found 2 just before that. This is a good hold from Na'Vi in the post plant, and now Simple gets the first one. That's with the op. Edwards chasing, though. He is pushing out to try and at least get one more gun away from these CTs, as Bondic is the man he's lurking towards. Simple does get dropped. That's Guardian that gets that kill. Like, they've heard him coming, though, so does he get the damage? Yes, he gets Blade, and that's your bomb down. Flamey also finding Markelov, and it's all left to World Edit.